this is the first installment of Objectively Biased. I am your host, Steve Fogmick. To give you a quick background on myself, I am an avid sports follower. I enjoy all sports, from the NFL down to college baseball. You name it, I love it. I gamble too, so gotta know them all. My objective here is to provide an honest and objective perspective on sports, as well as providing a source of entertainment for people. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoy doing this. Now, with that being said, let's get right into sports and let's get right into the conversation that's got the buzz that's got everybody talking right now, and that's Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. I've watched plenty of basketball, and what Golden State's doing right now is incredible. What Steph Curry's doing right now is incredible. But there is a lot of, I guess, prisoners of the moment, if you will, overreacting to what this man is doing. Again, I'm not trying to knock his accomplishments, but let's take a look at being realistic here. ESPN, I believe, put out an NBA's top 100 NBA players, and they ranked Steph Curry 23rd in the NBA history. Which means basically if Steph Curry broke both of his legs tomorrow and wouldn't be able to play, that's how you would rank him, as the 23rd greatest NBA player. Not even his stats would make him the 23rd best NBA player in history. So, again, we're being prisoners of the moment. We've got a year and a half, almost 2 years now, of what this kid can do, and he's coming into his prime. So, do I believe he can wind up being one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen in all time? Absolutely. Is he close to it right now in his 6th season? Hell no. Let's not overreact. But let's not underappreciate what he's doing. We talk about scoring prowess. Well, the kid is in the top 5 in scoring. He's in the top 5 in field goal percentage. He's in the top 5 in three-point shooting percentage. He's in the top 5 in free throw percentage. And he's in the top 5 in steals. Now, we question his defensive ability, and understandably so. But Golden State is also 6th in the league in defensive efficiency. They play defense. Don't get it twisted. But again, he's not the GOAT. He is the best NBA player in the league right now. And I know that's gonna rub every LeBron lover in the wrong way. Listen, LeBron had his run, and it was a great one. But at the end of the day, LeBron never did what Steph Curry is doing right now. I've seen a lot of shooters from the 80s on up. You know, guys like Dan Marley, Craig Hodges, Steve Kerr, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, guys that could hit it on a dime. Never anything like this. As a matter of fact, to put it into perspective, if Reggie Miller and Ray Allen got together and had a kid, Steph Curry can't miss. Can't miss. His range is the entire court. I watch him shoot, and I see the McDonald's commercials of the 80s with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan when they were turning around saying, "Oh, I'm gonna bank it off the spotlight to the court, off the backboard, off the other backboard, into the hoop, nothing but net for a bag of fries." That's what this kid is doing right now. He's playing horse on the NBA, and nobody is on his level. They can't catch him. They can't touch him. I mean, it's incredible. It really is. But is this team better? Is this team better than that 95-96 Bulls team? I'm going to upset a lot of people when I say this. No. Now, I'm not going to say something stupid like Dennis Rodman did in saying that, well, they could go 81-1. We did it first. I don't know what he was drinking, and that's not my problem. And if they do, which I think they will, beat 72-10, does it make them the best team ever because they finished with the best record ever? Absolutely not. The 1972 Miami Dolphins finished undefeated. A perfect 17-0 with a Super Bowl victory. And they're not regarded as one of the 5 best teams in NFL history. So it's fine if Golden State wins and they're not considered one of the top 5 teams in NBA history. It's a different day, a different age, a different game. And with that said, I'm not going to rank them ahead of the 95-96 Bulls, but I'm not going to rank them too far behind them because of how incredible of a run this is. Let's also remember, this could be the first time in NBA history 2 teams finish with 70-plus wins. The San Antonio Spurs are right there, and they only have 9 losses. And they're right behind Golden State. We could be witnessing history right now. Let's enjoy it rather than trying to kick dirt on the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. Now I want to transition into football. We've had one hell of an offseason, as we do with seemingly every year. The latest installment of the offseason, we're back to Deflategate. Roger Goodell and Tom Brady back in court. Quite frankly, I don't want to hear it anymore. Tired of it. We've had Johnny Manziel, even after getting in trouble, spotted drinking and blacking out in a nightclub. We've got Joseph Randle, former running back of the Dallas Cowboys. Couldn't run away from defenders. I don't know what made him think he could run away from the law. And we've got Peyton Manning. Now, some people may think that what's happening, or what was happening with Peyton Manning, was people trying to just smear his name. To a certain extent, I would agree. But I would also say this. Nobody has a squeaky clean image. And let's not look at Peyton Manning's situation as something in passing. It's something that obviously happened. It's something that the University of Tennessee clearly has some type of history, being that there's a Title IX lawsuit against them. Those not familiar with Title IX, it was a statute set to create equal rights and equal treatment of women in the NCAA. So obviously there's a problem there. And there is obviously truth to, I guess some truth to what occurred with Peyton Manning. Let's not forget, he didn't just pay this woman off once. Paid her off twice. Keep it quiet. And while it is not as demonstrative as Lance Armstrong may have been, well, it's in the same vicinity. I mean, you're paying somebody to be quiet. Lance Armstrong was a monster and tried to destroy people's existences. But let's not act like it didn't happen. And my question isn't to challenge what happened years ago. My question is, why does he get a cushion? Why is he receiving this pass? If this was Tom Brady in his situation, Brady wouldn't be receiving a pass. If it was Cam Newton, hell, people were ripping Cam Newton 2 weeks prior to the Super Bowl and a week after the Super Bowl because of his dabbing and because of the way he walked away from an interview. Really? Because he got upset for losing? So, why are we giving Peyton Manning, why are we making excuses for Peyton Manning, sweeping it under the rug? Because he's likable? I guess. It's like anything else in life. If someone's liked, they're going to give you a pass. The only reason guys like Tim Tebow were even talked about and given opportunities in the NFL was because so many people began liking him as a person and forgetting him as a football player, as a below average quarterback. So with Peyton Manning, we remember his Papa John's commercials and all the greatness in him and his charismatic ability to capture us. That when something bad does happen, we just gloss over it. Say, well, it's okay. I'm not comfortable with that. And I know people are going to be upset about it, but it is what it is. We dragged Tiger Woods through the mud because of a moral issue. Again, Lance Armstrong, he was in the news nonstop. Peyton Manning, 1 week and he's gone. Off the grid, disappears. If we're going to be consistent with our ridiculing and our criticisms from a social media standpoint, then we need to be consistent across the boards with everyone. We can't sit here and subjectively pick and choose, well, I'll go after him, but not him. I love Conor McGregor because he talks shit and it speaks to my heart. I hate Floyd Mayweather because he talks shit and it irritates me. Can't have it both ways. With that being said, I'd like to close this up with something I wrote down, and I'm going to do this every show, and it's called My Objective Thought. Don't think of this as a contradiction to the way I was painting the picture, if you will, of Peyton Manning, but think of this as more of us, you and I, a social perspective on sports and the way we view sports and the way we probably shouldn't view it. So my objective thought's going to go back to Peyton Manning, obviously, but just to athletes in general and how our athletes are perceived. We place these guys on a pedestal and try to hold them to the highest of moral and ethical standards, creating unrealistic expectations of these athletes, fostering this perception of invincibility without vulnerability. Kind of silly. We don't expect that of us, yet we expect that of them. And we expect that of them because of their money, because of their color, because of their position, etc. And it's not that I'm trying to defend athletes. They do have a social and moral responsibility to behave themselves and conduct themselves in a civilized and law-abiding manner. But at the same time, we turn around and we try to make them more than human. And they're not. They're just like you and I. And if you and I are without flaw, or with flaw, I should say, why do we have these perfect expectations of them? It shouldn't be that way. If we don't expect it in us, we shouldn't expect perfection from them. That being said, I thank you and have a good day.